captured and sold into slavery, with estimates suggesting that over 10 million survived the brutal Middle Passage and arrived in the New World. The majority of these enslaved individuals were taken from West and Central Africa. The primary destinations were the Caribbean, Brazil, and the United States, with Brazil receiving about 40% of all enslaved Africans. 2. The Middle Passage. The Middle Passage, the journey across the Atlantic Ocean, was marked by unimaginable cruelty and suffering. Slaves were packed tightly into ships with minimal ventilation. Food or water, disease abuse, suicide, and death were rampant. It is estimated that 1.8 million Africans died during outposts and engaged in triangular trade routes that enriched European economies at the expense of African lives and freedom. 4. African involvement and resistance. Some African kingdoms and leaders participated in the trade, capturing and selling rivals in exchange for European goods like firearms and textiles. However, this involvement varied, and many African communities resisted the slave trade, often at great cost. There were numerous revolts both in Africa and aboard ships. One notable case is the 1839 Amistad Revolt, where enslaved Africans took over their transport ship and eventually won their freedom in a U.S. court. IV. Life in the Americas, slavery, and subject to harsh punishments. 2. Cultural survival and syncretism. Despite the oppression, African cultural elements survived and evolved. Enslaved Africans preserved language patterns, for example, Gullah in the U.S. South, religious traditions, such as Vodou in Haiti, Candomblé, Brazil, Santeria, Cuba, music and dance, which laid the foundation for genres like blues, jazz, reggae, samba, and hip-hop. African diasporic communities developed Creole languages, spiritual practices, blending African deities with Christian saints, and distinctive culinary traditions. 3. Resistance and rebellion. Africans resisted slavery in countless ways. Day-to-day resistance. 1. The abolition movements. Throughout the 18th and 19th centuries, growing moral, religious, and economic opposition to slavery led to its gradual abolition. Britain abolished the slave trade in 1807 and slavery in 1833. The U.S. banned the importation of slaves in 1808, with slavery abolished after the Civil War in 1865. Haiti became the first Black republic in 1804. Brazil abolished slavery in 1888. Abolitionists like Aulo de Iquiano, Frederick Douglass, Sojourner Truth, William Wilberforce, and Toussaint Louverture played critical roles in these efforts. 2. Post-emancipation societies. Though slavery officially ended, newly freed